The Minister of Employment and Labour has formally implemented a 381 million rand lifeline to save the South African Post Office. Nomakhosazana Meth has signed an agreement between SAPO and the UIF in aims to preserve 6,000 jobs. Now, this deal is also aimed at supporting the revitalisation of the state-owned entity. The UIF will use the temporary employer-employee relief scheme to inject over 381 million rand into SAPO over a 6-month period. This is designed to provide some relief to the thousands of employees while SAPO implements a turnaround strategy. The UIF and SAPO formally entered into a memorandum of agreement marking the establishment of a strategic partnership between the two entities. The minister has hailed the move as a bold and necessary one to protect workers and restore confidence in public institutions. Meth says the funding will be dispersed in monthly tranches via a dedicated TERS bank account with strict governance, auditing and compliance measures in place. To weigh in, we're joined on the line by Ministry of Employment and Labour spokesperson Thobeka Magcai. Very good evening to you, Thobeka. Thank you for your time. As the minister, has hailed this move as a bold one, which will be highly beneficial as we look at the jobs that will be saved. Talk to us about the process, what it entailed, and how we got to this point.
Good evening to you, Mpho, and thank you for having us on the show. Good evening to your viewers as well. Well, yes, the process entails, firstly, maybe if I can take you through what happened. So the post office submitted an application to the UIF for the TERS funding. It went through the TERS adjudication committee, who evaluated their application. The committee is quite strict, so they look at the details, they look at the turnaround strategy and what you are presenting, and they then assess whether your turnaround strategy is viable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, there is some sort of feedback coming from you, but we can hear you clearly. Just continue.
So the adjudication committee evaluated the application, and based on what was presented to them, they then approved for a 6 months intervention strategy, and also funding to the tune of 381 million rand, specifically to support the employees for a 6-month period for the payment of salaries and benefits.
In my conversation, just getting reaction from the Communications Workers Union, they've welcomed the cash injection, but with mixed emotions. They're saying that they find themselves between a rock and a hard place, emphasizing that it's only a matter of 6 months before day zero arrives. Then what?
Well, the process will be evaluated. I think for now, Mpho, what is key for the minister is to ensure that jobs are secured at this present time, and that the turnaround strategy by SAPO is implemented. So if maybe I can take you through their turnaround strategy, which would include the sale of non-core properties, minimizing investment in capital expenditure, closely monitoring the debtors book, applying cost containment measures. They're also looking at migration to digital infrastructure, leasing of vehicles, exploring in the revenue generation streams. So the adjudication committee found their proposal very formidable, and for that reason, they've then given them 6 months. So you have 6 months, so make sure implement the situation around.
We are losing you there slightly, but very lastly, before we let you go, Thobeka, as the union emphasizes and receives this money, it's welcome, but with mixed emotion. They've also emphasized the importance of the bigger picture, the 3.8 billion rand. How are you working with the communications department? Because there seems to be a number of departments involved here to try and ensure that there is some sort of turnaround strategy around the South African Post Office.
Yes, indeed. There are a lot of partners and key stakeholders that are part of the process. because no one wants to see the post office going under. So it is very important that during this phase, the turnaround strategy is implemented, like, with the strictest of measures. They will be monitored. You have mentioned as well that there will be a dedicated TERS bank account. There will be strict governance. So what we as the Employment and Labour are doing are really just to support them in this interim with the payment of salaries. So, and it's up to them to implement the turnaround strategy.
So as you talk about these salaries, what will happen at the end of the 6 months? I mean, will it be another waiting period where there's discussions and there's a gap and more funds are needed? What are you hoping will happen by the end of the 6 months? At what point will these negotiations hopefully be?
Well, we don't want to preempt the situation. I think for now we want to be as positive as possible and also hope that the situation does turn around. So, I mean, the adjudication committee found their application quite, like, as I've said, that it seems viable. It's viable. Otherwise, they wouldn't have even issued them the 381 million rand. They are very strict, and there've been times where they've declined some applications, but they've actually saw it fit to approve this application within the 6 months. So I think that we need to give them an opportunity to implement the strategies, and then we can take it from there after 6 months.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. We're going to leave it there for now. That was the Ministry of Employment and Labour spokesperson Thobeka Magcai speaking to us there about the 381 million rand TERS cash injection over the South African Post Office.